The Utah voucher law, we feel, is fundamentally flawed. The flawed voucher law lacks accountability and contains too many loopholes and unanswered questions. Private schools are not required to be accredited like public schools. Unaccountable private voucher schools may hire teachers without college degrees or a state license. Private schools don't have to meet the same coursework or attendance standards that public schools meet. Like I say, they could only meet one day a week if they wanted to, where we have to meet so many days out of the year. Utahns need to invest in public schools. 96% of Utah's children are now attending public schools. Utah has the most overcrowded classrooms in the country. Utah ranks last in the nation in spending per student. Instead of diverting hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars for vouchers, Utahns should increase our investment in public schools. Thank you. And vouchers will not help the majority of Utah families. More than half of Utah counties have no private schools at all. But I will let you know that we are being looked at as a state. They are looking at us all around, and we know property is being bought up from investors to build private schools in our state. We know that for a fact. Due to limited funding, less than 1% of eligible public school students will be able to receive voucher scholarships in 2008. Even with an average $2,000 voucher, many Utah families won't be able to afford expensive private school tuition, which averages $8,000. And we got that average from the Utah State University, is who made that assumption for us. And it's not an assumption, it's a fact that that's the average across the state. And for a family with 4 children, the additional $24,000 in tuition puts private school completely out of their reach. And for a child to attend a private school, that parent is going to have to drive that child to school every day, make sure that child has a lunch, because there will be no lunches available for him at that school. Parents will sign away their rights to IDEA, and that is for the special needs student. Any special needs money, they're going to sign that right away. And if there is a special needs student in a school, if they need special needs, then the parents will probably have to pay that difference. It is not for all children, and it's definitely not for the children that can't attend private schools, because they just can't afford to. It sounds good, it sounds wonderful, but you know, our forefathers had a vision, and their vision was that everybody receives an education. And that's what public school provides, that there's not one child turned away. No matter race, no matter mental ability, they are not turned away from our schools. Every child has a right for an education. And that's what we stand on as PTA. We want every child to realize their full potential. PTA is Parents Teacher Association. They keep coming back with parent involvement. We gave over $380 million check to the governor of hours from parents involved in schools. Our schools are doing a great job. They are high in math, they're high across the nation. They're doing a wonderful job. And we're getting a bad rap from those schools in the East that aren't. Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, they had the very first voucher bill at District of Columbia because there were some bad inner schools. But they didn't have enough money for all of the students to go to the private schools. So they did have a good opportunity to test, and that is a good test that they did there, is that the ones that had to go back to public, the ones that went to private, the achievement was just like this. Neither one of them did better than the other. And to me, that's just saying that our public schools are doing a great job.